I see through all physical and mental obstructions to the one perfect presence within me. I see all apparent contradictions to the one perfect being in every person. I see through all confusion to the one divine presence at the center of everything. My body is a temple of the living Spirit. It is spiritual substance. Every part of my body is in harmony with the living Spirit within me. The life of this divine Spirit flows through every atom of my being, revitalizing, reinvigorating, and renewing every particle of my physical body. There is a pattern of perfection at the center of my being, which is now operating through every organ, function, action, and reaction. My body is a divine idea forever renewed by the Spirit. The spirit within me is alive, awake, and aware. It is always flowing through me in perfect life. I accept my spiritual perfection. I know that my being is included in it. It is a manifestation of the life, the energy, the love, the peace, and the power of which is spirit. I know that this day in which I live, this present time, which is now, is perfect. Everything in my world works harmoniously, divinely. I live in completeness of this present moment. all circumstances and situations are being harmonized. Wherever I go, I shall meet peace, joy, and happiness. Whatever I do shall be done with reason and intelligence. I shall be surrounded by friendship, by beauty, by right action. I know that the all-wisdom guides me, the all-power protects me, the all-presence goes with me. And so it is.
This is Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. Before we begin this celebration service, let's all join in and sing our opening song together.
What a glorious Sunday morning. I'm Richard Houston, a licensed practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas, and it is my pleasure to be here with you as we experience this uplifting celebration service together. Throughout the service, if you feel a need for prayer, a prayer and a blessing for you, a family member, or a friend, then please go to our website and select our prayer request. Prayer and meditation are two very powerful spiritual traditions here in our community. Know that licensed spiritual practitioners are deeply committed to supporting you through your prayer. We are here for you. Please feel free to call on us. As a matter of fact, even as I speak, 2 practitioners are providing spiritual support right now for you, for me, for our entire community. They are holding us in deep spiritual loving care from their homes by sitting in meditation during this service. We thank Clay T. White and Fran Peterson for holding high watch for each one of us today. And now, let us take a moment to consider this week's affirmation. You may wish to jot it down or take a picture of it and keep it with you as a source of inspiration throughout the week. I'll read the affirmation and then we'll enter into contemplation together, after which I will give the invocation. I delight in the wonder of my body and treat it kindly. I delight in the wonder of my body and treat it kindly.
Spirit flows through me. Spirit, I am one. Spirit flows through me. I accept and recognize God in me. Spirit flows through me. Spirit, I am one. Spirit flows through me. I accept and recognize God in me.
As we come into this time of silence, we just feel our presence. We feel our connection to the earth and to the air. For God is good all the time, in every way, in every person, in every place, in every situation. It is the air we breathe and the land we walk on. It is our connection. So in this time and space, I just call forward that we are in the right place at the right time. We are open. Our hearts and minds are willing. And we just show up in a way that God feels the presence and we feel the presence of God. We are blessed in this moment and we are just grateful for this opportunity to be together and to share. And we just let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
Spirit flows through me. Spirit, I am one. Spirit flows through me. I accept and recognize God in me.
when you're weary, parched or broken, come to the well. Cool, clear water, it is calling you. Beggars, sinners, teachers, saints, come to the well. Joyful crowds or lonesome travelers, all along the road, come to the well, drink your fill. Come to the well and heal. And heal. Deep and sacred, wise and ancient, open your eyes. Elemental for survival, it will never run dry. Come to the well, drink your fill. Come to the well and heal. And heal. Come to the well, drink your fill. Come to the well and heal. And heal. Good morning again, everybody. This is Reverend Kit Holmes. Thank you for having me, Reverend Laura, at the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. Good to be back with you. Come to the Well. I chose that song for its healing properties. If we think about the wellspring of life, that thing that fills us, our bodies, our minds, our spirits, it's available to us at all times. And it is that place that we tune into metaphorically, physically, drinking from the well, that place that allows us to heal. The monthly theme from Centers for Spiritual Living in June is about our bodies, our physical bodies. And today in particularly is loving this body. That's the title of the talk today. Loving our physical bodies. I'm going to read you the theme summary for the month, Centers for Spiritual Living. It says, the body is the one thing in this world which is completely and intimately ours. Rather than engaging in a spirituality that denies the body, we can move closer to an experience of God here and now by fully engaging with the body. Our bodies are magnificent and magical conduits between God and our individual consciousness and ought to be celebrated the way they allow us to experience the world in which we live. All bodies are good bodies. I want to say that again. All bodies are good bodies. And the body offers a direct and clear path to divine experience if we will allow it. By loving the body, using it to connect our minds and hearts, and listening to its wisdom, we celebrate its magnificence and awaken to this everyday wonder. So today, yes, we are blessing and celebrating our physical bodies. We have, in many teachings, and you've probably heard many of these, we have different energetic bodies. We have our physical body. We have our ethereal body, which some say is our holographic body. We have our emotional body, which is our feelings. We have our mental body, which is where all our ideas come through. And we have our spiritual body, which is our consciousness. So in our quest sometimes for spiritual enlightenment, we tend to disregard our physical bodies. And I'm going to say this especially for many of us that had physical trauma when we were young. We were also probably, if you were like me at all, grew up in a quote-unquote spiritual tradition that shamed us for our bodies. It told us our bodies were not natural. And I think about that all these years later in this lifetime of mine and think, wow, this is the place I've gotten to in my life. That's my dog walking around on the wooden floor back there, if you hear the little clicking noises. We have been shamed out of loving our bodies. And so we do all manner of things to them, to disrespect, to turn away from, to shut ourselves off, to disconnect ourselves from our physical sensations. And so we become maladaptive to our environment, don't we? We start saying all these things that are bad for us and hurt us. And it's like, well, not necessarily. You know, we've gotten to a place in our lives where we know through Western medicine that too much sun exposure is not good for us, possible causes of skin cancer. But we also know that not enough exposure to the sun depletes us, deprives us of essential vitamin D for our well-being. So this is about balance. This is about balancing between our mental, our physical, our ethereal, our spiritual, emotional bodies. But today in particular is about the physical body. Our bodies are designed to support us as we move through the big emotions, right? These physical space suits, these earth suits, excuse me, you might hear them say, you know, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We've got to have something that supports our consciousness on this plane of time and space. We could be just a bunch of brains floating around, but that takes away God's desire to express through us in the physical realm. How else would we know the joy of being in the sunshine, maybe not in Las Vegas in the middle of the summer, but on a beautiful spring day? How else would we know that difference between heat and cold? That is God experience. That is God experiencing through us in our physical form. The breeze on our face when we go for a swim, our resting, our relaxing, our exercising, our moving our bodies, stretching them. That's all God. That's all God wanting us, needing our bodies to experience itself in the physical realm on this plane. If you've heard of Dr. Carolyn Mace, an intuitive healer, My go-to book of hers is The Anatomy of the Spirit. My copy is dog-eared and bent-paged and highlighted and tabbed and so many things, and I highly recommend the book. But what she says in that, she says, what drains the soul drains the body. So if we think about that balance of celebrating and acknowledging and embracing our physical beings, we will notice sometimes that if we are not doing our purpose, we are not doing those things in life, we're doing those things that drain us, to drain our soul, that, the soul-killing job, the soul-killing relationship, the soul-killing activities or habits or beliefs or paradigms, it does have an effect on the spirit, on the physical body. It will drain us. It will cause dis-ease in us because we are not in alignment with that thing that Spirit wants to express through us. Making sense so far? Yes. So you're seeing where you see the big picture here. We have to have both. We have to have all of our bodies working in harmony with one another. We can get, and this is, of course, a talk for another time, a topic for another time, is what is my purpose? What am I here to do? It's not who we're here to do, it's who we're here to be. In my opinion, in my belief, in my experience, we are here to be love. We are here to be the demonstration of love. We are here to be the demonstration of God as love in human form. Another talk for another time. So the thing is, when we deny our soul's desire to express creatively, joyfully, playfully, or when we close our heart to love because we've been hurt in the past, it's easy to do. A lot of hurts. And we say, wow, that was ouchy. I'm not going to do that again. We shut off our hearts. We shut off a literal and figurative part of our bodies that needs to be open to the flow, our heart chakra. Again, Carolyn Mace says in the book, physical health often requires and may demand the healing of emotional issues. I would go as far as to say, yeah, it does demand, in my own experience. I'm going to share that a little bit with you this morning because of that. Why, though? Why do we need to heal the emotional stuff in order to heal the physical stuff? If we think about our practice in Science of Mind, everything begins in mind. Everything begins with a thought. Everything begins with the belief behind the thought. And so we hear that all the time. When we change our thinking, we change our life. That was Ernest Holmes' tagline, and everybody grabbed a hold of it because it is true. When we change our consciousness, that's when the healing begins. When we heal the initial wound, the initial emotional wound, that is when the shift occurs. And I don't know about you, if you've had that experience, I can say it is a physical sensation. It's an energetic thing where you go, wow, something shifted. Something shifted and everything else moved with it. I had that experience this past week. As you're seeing this on June the 12th, I am actually recording it the week before. And as I go into this next week, by the time you see this, I will have had my first dose of chemotherapy. I was diagnosed 2 months ago with breast cancer. It was caught early, stage 1, awesomeness. The prognosis is great. I'm not worried. Am I scared? Yes. I'm going into the unknown. The experience of having the chemo port put in 10 days ago, or for you now, it would be a couple of weeks. Scary. Never done it before. There's this thing being implanted in my body that in my logical mind says, this is not natural. This is not natural. This thing should not be in me. And yet, the intelligence and the wisdom of God through scientists, through researchers, through the doctors, through all of these things that all these years have been finding better ways to treat, to first of all diagnose, but also to treat cancer of any kind, has brought us to this place where there's a cath port. There's this thing that makes it easier than them jamming needles in your veins to do the therapy, to do the medicine that goes into your body. All of that is God. All of that is spirit. That's where I go in this process. That's where I go in my practice as a minister, as a practitioner, as a long-time practitioner in science of mind. And I'm human. And I didn't realize the import or the magnitude that the emotional, just the idea of going in and having this implant done, and the after effects, and allowing myself the emotions to deal with it. It's huge. We don't often realize how much emotion we are holding and carrying or stuffing out of habit, out of a paradigm, me, working through that to realize we've got to move that energy. Earlier this year, at the beginning of 2022, intuitively, I was getting intuitive hits that were saying, I want to take, when this summer, I want to take time to rest. I want to take time to regroup. I've had a lot going on in the last year. I had finished ministerial school in May of 2021. I licensed in September of 2021. I was working as associate minister in a Unity church in Wimberley, Texas. My relationship, my marriage, I let go of that, the beginning stages of letting go of that in the summer of 2021. And there was just kind of one thing after another when I made the decision to start detoxifying my life more than a year ago. I didn't realize, of course I didn't realize, that Spirit would have its own way with me of moving me into a place of rest and healing. I was thinking it was going to be emotional, it was going to be spiritual, it was all these things. I had recognized that in letting go of the relationship, I had a lot of patterns, a lot of emotional patterns. And as I referenced earlier, stuffing emotions. That's just what I was taught growing up, and many of us are. We know it is not safe. It is not okay. It's the don't talk, don't trust, don't feel thing. And I think many of you may know what I'm talking about. But it is physically damaging to us. I knew from a physical standpoint more than 2 years ago. My stress level, my energy level, my weight, everything was way out of whack. And at the beginning of 2021, I had made the decision to clean that up. That was the first thing I knew I could do physically, start cleaning up, taking care of my body from a standpoint. I knew I was heading to graduation. There was some ego involved. I wanted to look fabulous, all of those other things. And I knew from a physical standpoint, it was not sustainable anymore. So that was the first step. And then finding this moment of, it's time to release this relationship. And then it's time to release, and it's time to acknowledge, it's time to come out of denial about early stuff in my life. Start dealing with that. And so by the time I get to January of 2022, I'm getting this intuitive thing that says, yes, you're going to rest, you're going to heal, you're going to relax, you're going to take everything off your plate that does not generate a full body yes. A yes of agreement of yes, this is mine to do, no, this is not. So here I go, start taking these things off. My job shifted, my relationship shifted, so many things shifted, and it was, I'm just going to say it's been a ride. It's been one hell of a ride this last year. And the emotional growth has been tremendous. The spiritual growth has been through the roof. The insights and the downloads and the intuitive hits and the connecting the dots of, oh my gosh, look at these patterns and look at where God is involved in all of this. Look at how every part of my life, every moment of my life has brought me to this place of a new, so much higher level of spiritual awareness, a level of consciousness that not only am I bringing to myself, but in my ministry as a minister, it's like, wow, look at this. Here's another reason I didn't know why I became a minister. Here's another reason I didn't know why I became a teacher. Here's another reason I didn't know I was writing the songs I was writing. way back about my consciousness, my conscious connection with God. So a cancer diagnosis was not on my plan, but I absolutely trust that it is certainly in a divine plan for my life. So here we go. We go into the unknown, and what do? Our limbic brain says, danger, 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 danger. Something new is happening. It's threatening to us. Oh my gosh, what do? We shut down, we close in, we do all those things. When really it is, here's a time to recognize, here's a time to notice that our bodies are going to tell us stuff. Any kind of pain that we have in our body, we know means that something is out of balance. And it could be as simple as, our hip joints are out of balance. We're walking crooked, so it's throwing our shoulder off. It's making our neck hurt. It's giving us headaches. It can be as simple as that, and it can be as more involved and more complex in other parts of our bodies. But we are in this teaching of knowing that we can control conditions and circumstances through the power of the mind of God. We have the access to that consciousness that knows our wholeness, and we can ask it. We can ask it and say, what is the next thing to do? For me, in a diagnosis of cancer was, I recognize this. I have a consciousness that is going to move me through this in a very different way than perhaps someone who does not have the awareness that says, I have to depend completely on Western medicine, and everybody's telling me I'm going to be in pain, I'm going to feel awful, I'm going to do all these things. Those are possibilities. And I also know that I have the ability to use my conscious mind to speak to my subconscious mind, to speak into the one mind, the absolute truth that there is a possibility that this can be easy. And all of it, through all of it is that place of recognizing, acknowledging, and embodying the fact that God is in all of this. There is something greater. There is a greater awareness to be had. There is a greater learning. There is a greater healing. We've often heard it said in this teaching that healing of the physical body does not necessarily mean there's a cure. As we go back, physical health, Carolyn Mace saying this again, physical health often requires and may demand the healing of emotional issues. My last week for me was big. It came into, a long, almost year journey of back and forth, and no, this is not acceptable as far as the relationship and the divorce proceedings and the paperwork and the things and the lawyers and the not communicating and the communicating in hurtful ways. And this last week was a push into a piece of property, commercial property that my ex and I were developing, and it was selling, and there was this just this last thing, this last piece of the puzzle. And I called my mentor on this Wednesday night because I said, I know that I'm coming at this from a place, I don't want to be in a place of revenge or hurt or push. My decision to end this relationship was recognizing that not only was that the highest and best for me, but it was the highest and best as I could identify for my ex, and have done nothing but treat and pray and send the compassion and knowing in through that one mind that there is a God spark, there is that love in that person. There's just a different level of awareness. And so as hurt and distrust kept being, I want to say, thrust at me, it was also a recognition that this is a reflection. So what is it in me that is holding up this process? The emotional part of it did a fear to faith healing on Wednesday with my mentor. And Thursday morning, all the doors flew open. The simple and elegant solution that Spirit had been holding the whole time came like that. And it was a phone call and a couple of things to here and there and here and there, and the paperwork was done. And Friday morning, this a week ago Friday for you now, I saw my oncologist. I went to the title company and signed the papers, the closing on the building. And while I was signing the closing papers on that building, phone call came in from my lawyer and said, she has signed the divorce papers. Not the attorney, but my ex. All in one day. That's a lot. And the emotional stuff around that, what I found myself saying, because I am practiced at this, and you are practicing too, and I am still practicing, the practice was, yes, I wanted to celebrate, and I needed to honor. Absolutely needed to honor what my body has been telling me for a lot of years and showing up of this thing called cancer, holding so much toxicity, even though I was working to move it through my body. I needed to honor and celebrate and say, yes, okay, this is done. This is a huge relief. I got all this stuff off my plate, and I'm moving into the next phase of healing this coming week with my first round of chemo. My mindset around when we eventually get to surgery, and this dropped in for me very early on in the diagnosis through meditation, was it said, you've been doing this work to clear the toxicity from your body, from your life, from your emotions, from your relationships, all of those things. This is just a piece of it, or several pieces that got trapped before they could get out. Our bodies, we can move a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, a lot of spiritual energy very quickly, and our bodies are still in the human plane in time and space, and our bodies sometimes need time to catch up to our our emotional and our spiritual growth. So I look at it that way. When that comes out, when that tumor comes out, my intention is that any and every other thing that no longer serves me, the toxicity in my body, I'm putting it all into that tumor so that it all goes. And I shift. I love my body. I love it enough to say I'm going to treat it really, really well. I'm going to treat it like a newborn baby. I'm going to do that work every day to not only boost my immune system, but to love myself, love my body, love all of that toxic shame that I grew up with about my body. So I invite you today to do that. Man, there's a whole lot more I was going to talk about today, but I'm running long. And I'm going to leave you just for, as we go into treatment, you may have heard this. Celebrating the body, familiar with Maya Angelou, and I love this. This was like one of her signature poem, and it's called Phenomenal Woman. It's from 1978, and if you get the opportunity, look this up. It's called Phenomenal Woman, Maya Angelou, and listen to her reading her poem. It is juicy. It is lovely. And I'm going to invite you to just sit. I'm not going to try to do the justice or recreate anything that Dr. Maya could do. But I want to read this because it fits. It fits for me today, and I hope it fits for you women and men that are listening too. You have your own version. In fact, Walt Whitman has his own version. It's called I Sing the Body Electric. I invite you to look that one up too, because it is the celebration of the human form. And it's juicy and it's sensuous and it's titillating, but it gets at us. So, loving your body. Here we go, a Phenomenal Woman from Dr. Maya Angelou. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model's size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl on my lips. I'm a woman phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I am a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. And that's you. So let's take a moment to move into a spiritual mind treatment about our phenomenal bodies, the gifts of our bodies, with the intention of loving our bodies. Let's take a breath. I know that God, I know that Spirit, I know that whatever we name, we give this one power, this one mind, this one intelligence, this infinite love, this unconditional love. It is always present. It is always here right now, in every moment for us to tap into, to reconnect with. And the easiest way for us to do that is through our breath. We can breathe in God and breathe out anything. We can make it joyful. And today I choose to make it joyful, full of gratitude. I breathe in God and I release any stress, any strain. I breathe in God and I breathe out gratitude. I breathe in God and I breathe out joy. I breathe in God and I breathe out the acceptance that all of us, every being, is a divine expression of that one, a unique expression of that one, individualized, an individualized expression of God. And what I know and affirm for us today is that place of absolutely knowing that we are here on this plane in physical form for a good purpose, with deep meaning. And that simply by the nature of our very existence, we know. I know and affirm, I know that we know we are divine. We are perfect and we are whole. And what I know and affirm for all of us is that we easily and gently and lovingly let go of the idea that there is something wrong with us. There is absolutely nothing wrong with us. And I affirm that today as we we breathe into that knowing. God would not have put us here for the sole purpose of defiling that gift. Whatever we may have been told, I know now, we lay that down. We lay that down and embrace our wholeness. And in any moment that we might forget or we might believe otherwise, all we have to do is breathe and say, I breathe in God. And because I am breathing, I know and I can remember that God is in me. And if God is in me, that must mean that there is perfection and there is wholeness. And if I believe in the God I say I do, that God is perfect and God is all and there are no mistakes, then there are no mistakes in me. There is only that which is to be experienced, that which is to be revealed, that which is to be healed. But at the center of it all is perfect wholeness. The perfect wholeness of God. And so as we go out into this day exercising that belief, stretching our muscles, stretching our mind, stretching our belief, I know and affirm joy and ease, and maybe even a little bit of a spark to dance in the joy of knowing that we are indeed God in expression. So knowing this is good, knowing it cannot be anything else but good because it is God, I release these words into that law that only knows yes. And we simply affirm it together by saying, and so it is.
Here at Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas, we are a mission and vision-driven community. We offer transformative educational opportunities, deep and meaningful moments of connection, uplifting Wednesday and Sunday services. We greatly appreciate your contributions that support the amazing work we're doing here in Southern Nevada. We have several easy ways you can contribute. We have text to give. Simply text the amount of your donation to our text to give number and you'll be prompted to enter your information. There's a link to our online donation page posted below this video where you can contribute by debit or credit card. And of course, you're always welcome to send a check to our office if that works better for you. All of your contributions go to support the great work that we're doing here in Greater Las Vegas community.
Thank you, Reverend Kit, for such a profound message and sharing your musical talent with us today. And thank you for your generous gift in support of our center. We remain committed to serving you. Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas continues to provide enriching services, transformative classes, and powerful opportunities for connection within our community. Be sure to watch the announcements at the end of today's service for what's coming up in this week ahead. Now, let's join together in a closing song before our benediction.
God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Hi everyone, this is Reverend Laura Hallett of Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas, with a special announcement. On Sunday, June 19th, we are hosting a new building blessing on the location of our brand new site at 4080 East Russell Road in Las Vegas. This is going to be an opportunity for each one of us to become an integral part in the foundation of the new Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. We're going to be doing some rituals that will actually put your name and blessings into the foundation, that you will become the very building blocks on which we build the new Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. So hopefully you will take an opportunity to come and join us. We are asking that you bring a lawn chair or a folding chair with you if you have one available. We don't have our chair facilities yet for that. And also we want to remind you that there are no restroom facilities on site, so please take care of your needs before you arrive, and we will keep the service down to about 45 minutes so that it doesn't become too taxing for anyone. We hope you take an opportunity to join us. Invite your friends and neighbors if you'd like, anyone that you know from our community that is wanting to become part of the new Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. See you on Sunday, June 19th at 8 a.m.
And so as we go out into the rest of our day, into the rest of this week, the rest of this year, the rest of our lives, I know and affirm, absolutely, of course, that God is present. God is in all of it. God is in all of us. God is expressing as all of us in our beautiful, unique, absolutely gorgeous physical forms. And I know that we celebrate that. We celebrate the gift. We give thanks for the gift of our bodies and all that they can do, all the amazing things our bodies can do. To be the expression of God, to have God experiencing itself through us in physical form. So smell the roses, taste the wine, breathe the air, see the sunshine, hug someone, hug yourself into this day. Hug all of humanity and send that love as we do. I know we do. Send it out to the world, send it out to the universe, because it will come back multiplied. Blessings to you all. We say thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God, and so it is. And I thank you once again, Reverend Laura, for having me, and Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you again. Many, many blessings to you. We'll see you soon.
The monthly publication, Science of Mind magazine, is a treasure to be read and contemplated. Along with in-depth articles, there is a day-to-day spiritual support to be gleaned from its daily guides. Licensed practitioner Lynn Frankenberger hosts Adventures in Faith every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Zoom, and you're invited to join in. This is a weekly group discussion that focuses on those daily guides and how to apply them. Check Facebook and our weekly newsletter for more details. CSL Greater Las Vegas brings you much of your favorite spiritual music every Friday at 7 p.m. with Spiritual Soundscapes. Enjoy performances from CSLGLV vocalists along with special guest singers. It's music for your soul. Subscribe to the CSLGLV YouTube channel to get a convenient link sent to you for each musical performance. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all